Okay, so what Cullen just did was that she explained that Ramon went to go look in the closet, but so far he has not found anything suspicious. But then he's walking past the library corner, so probably where their bookshelves are, and he hears a sound. Are there mice, or could it be something else? Go ahead and read on the top of page 30. Smith, read loud. And Smith, go ahead and read all of page 30. But remember, when you get to a new paragraph, just pause really quick, look at me. If I nod my head, keep going. If not, I'll start speaking. Hold on, Cullen is, yes?
You mean 31?
31, yes, sorry, page 31.
Looking around, he saw poor Ted was still blowing his nose. Then he spotted something. Pieces of torn brown paper lay on the floor near Ted's desk. Raymond picked them up. Immediately, he noticed that there were ink markings on the paper. He placed them together like puzzle pieces to form the picture of a smiley face. Raymond recognized it at once. It was the same smiley face his mom had drawn on his lunch bag that morning.
So, Ramon's near the library. He hears a scratching sound. Ted keeps sneezing. Ramon found torn paper. What do we know of that could possibly make a scratching sound, make people sneeze, and likes to tear up paper? Think about it. Smith, keep reading.
This was a very important clue. Whoever had taken his lunch had torn up the evidence.
So, our next action happened. What was the next action that Ramon just did, or that just happened, that is probably going to lead to the solution? Victoria, pull your mask down to answer the question. What did he just do? What just happened?
He lost the
Don't just tell me what was the very last thing that happened.
He put the rest pieces of pages together.
So he found torn pieces of his bag. Ramon found torn pieces of his lunch bag. Do you think you solved it?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you think you solved it. If you didn't, that's okay. But don't tell me, because we're going to find out. Think about what your hypothesis is, what you think happened. As soon as you're done writing, turn the page, and Kingston, go ahead and read on page 32. Girls at home, if you cannot hear Kingston, he will be reading page 32, so you can read page 32 to yourself. Okay, Kingston, wait just a second. I'm waiting for everybody to finish and then be on page 32. Okay, Kingston, go ahead.
Just then, Mr. Gordon.
Try to be loud, like yell. Like where you might even feel like you're screaming.
Just then, Mr. Gordon, the assistant principal, knocked and came into the classroom. Here's a new computer we ordered for you, Mrs. Richmond.
Louder.
He placed it on the counter and started to read.
Remember, when you get to a period, pause. Because that means the thought is over, you're ready to start a new thought. Okay?
Mr. Gordon said, "By the way, has anyone seen a stray cat
going.
She sneaked into the school building. A few weeks ago when we were painting. I think it's still hiding somewhere. The kids looked at each other and shook their heads. Please let me know if you do. I want to find our home, Mr. Gordon.
Missing lunch. Scratching sounds. Torn lunch bag. Stray cat. You starting to put the clues together? Let's see. Read on page 33. Zari. Read to the sentence, could you be allergic to cats? And then stop. And read loud and slow. Go ahead.
Mr. Richmond
Not Mr.
looked around
Not
with
Mr.
a
Richmond.
little
What does that, sorry, what does that say? Not Mr. Richmond. It says,
Mrs. Richmond
there you go.
looked around with a little chuckle. I don't see any cats in this room, she said. At that moment, Ted gave 3 more loud sneezes. Wait a minute, Raymond called out.
Ramon.
Ramon called out. The biggest clue had been right under his nose all this time. Teddy, what
Not Teddy, but
Ted, what kind of allergies do you have? He asked. Could you be allergic to cats?
okay, pause. So, in a mystery, there might be a clue in plain sight the whole time. Whether it's a book, a movie, a TV show, you've probably seen this. You've probably seen crime shows where at the end, when they're solving the crime, the main clue they needed to solve the problem was right there, or the person who did it was right in front of them the whole time. That's part of what makes mysteries interesting, is trying to figure out, oh, this character that I know and I've come to like, are they actually bad? Or, I read this thing about a computer and it seemed like maybe it didn't quite make sense or fit. I wonder if it has to do with the end of the story. So, what was the clue like that in this story, where it was in front of us the whole time? Michaela? What was the clue that was in front of us the whole time? What was happening this whole story?
The cat was right there.
Well, how do we know? What was happening? What do we know? Did it say anything about a cat at the beginning of the story?
No.
So was that the clue, that the cat was there? No. What have they been saying? What has been mentioned since the beginning of the story that now we find out is a big clue? Ted kept sneezing. That was on like the very first page. Good. Read next. Thank you, Zari. Read next. Victoria.
Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Maybe there's a cat in here. Probably not. Victoria, do you know where we are? Okay, that's a consequence. Aaron, yell. Almost where you feel like you might be screaming. Pull your mask down.
How do you know?
Not how do.
How did you know? Ted asked when he stopped blowing his nose. Your nose gave it away, said Ramon. Ted grinned. I'm very allergic to any animal with fur, he admitted. Mrs. Richmond turned to Mr. Gordon. And I was worried that he was allergic to 4th grade.
There you go. Okay, turn the page. Thank you, Aaron. Read next, Zadie.
Ramon started pulling all the books.
Loud, almost like you're yelling.
Ramon started pulling all the books off the shelves in the library corner. The other students and Miss Gordon helped.
Not Miss.
Mr. Gordon helped. Sure enough, there behind the mystery books was the solution to the mystery of the missing lunch. 3 little kittens were hiding
Sound it out.
amid the remains of Raymond's
Not Raymond's, Ramon's.
Ramon's salami sandwich. But where's the mother cat? asked Miss Raymond.
Not Miss Raymond. What does that say?
Missing?
Mrs.
Ramon?
Not Ramon. Read the whole word.
Richmond?
There you go.
She won't be far away from her kittens, Mr. Gordon said. A loud hiss confirmed his words. On top of the closet stood the anxious mother cat.
Thank you, Zadie. Go ahead and read next. Michaela. Read the rest of page 35.
Who stole my lunch?
Loud, like you're yelling.
Who stole my lunch?
Not who. What does that say?
You stole my lunch.
Ramon.
Ramon scolded. The cat, but he was smiling. He was pleased. That he did not have the excuse to.
Not excuse. Go slow. Guys, it'll help. Use your finger. I use my finger to follow along all the time. That will help you. Use your finger to follow along. That will help you make sure that you're reading the whole word. The problem that a lot of 4th graders have is that they read the very beginning and the very end of the word and then guess what the word is. But using your finger will help you to make sure that you're reading the whole word. It will also help to make sure that you know your place. So he did not have to.
He did not have to excuse.
There's no X.
Accuse
There you go. Accuse.
one of his classmates. The mother jumped out of the
Nope,
car.
the mother.
The
Don't
mother
skip words.
cat-
It'll also help to make sure you don't skip words.
The mother cat jumped off the closet and slipped out the door. There goes, said Mr.
Nope. Try again. Use your
There she goes, said Miss Gordon.
miss, not miss.
Mr.
Gordon.
Gordon, will I'll take these kittens to my arms until we find a good home for them. Their mama will find them cats when a good scene.
Not cats win. Cats go slow.
Cats have a good sense of smell. And they smell sandwich, said Mama.
I cannot hear you. You need to read that last sentence again because I did not hear a word you said.
Cats have a good sense of smell, and they smell sandwich.
There's not the word smell. And
And they smell,
there's no word smell.
and they like sandwich, said Ramon.
Good. So what was the solution? What happened to his lunch? He needs to find his lunch. He questioned Jack. He crossed his names off. He found torn pieces of his lunch bag. And then, in the end, what had happened? In the end, what had happened in this story? Victoria? Specifically what? Who was eating it? Ramon found kittens and his sandwich. So now he's very happy because did any of his classmates steal the sandwich like he thought? No. Who took the sandwich? Cullen?
Kittens.
The kittens, the cat. Very good. Okay, go ahead and turn the page. Let's read about the author and illustrator. Everybody's going back in. One person will read about the author. The other person will read about the illustrator. Colin, read to us about the author.
Clues about the author and illustrator.
Joanna.
Joanna.
I would say it exactly how it's spelled, is how I would say it.
Okay.
Hurwitz. Loud.
Likes to write about everyday boys and girls, like the ones in this story, and their funny adventures.
Joanna. Use your finger. It'll help.
Gets her stories, ideas from many places. She thinks about children. She knew as a librarian and about people and places she's seen on her trips. She also gets ideas from her family and as proven in this story, her cats.
Good. Okay, go ahead and read next. Zadie. Guys, use your finger. It is not embarrassing. I use my finger all the time. Read slow. Fourth graders get a thing where they get a little too overconfident. But think about it. You've only actually been reading for like 3 years. So you are not supposed to be a perfect reader. Use your finger, follow along, go slow. Don't be afraid to sound out words. Go ahead.
Josephita did not plan on becoming a children's book illustrator. He planned to be an engineer, but he went back to school to study illustration. Joe thinks that children who want to be artists should spend a lot of time reading and studying math.
Very good. Okay, so we are done with our textbook. Go ahead and put your textbook in your desk. This problem and solution chart goes in the reading side of your reading and religion folder.